give me 1 second, Sharon, just 1 second.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Oh, here come, this might be Joel. Let's see who this is.
Okay, I'm all set.
Okay, let me just see who this is. I'm calling in.
All right.
Hi, who's calling in on 203-743-5125? Can you just identify yourself for the record? You have to hit the unmute button. Okay. Oh, nope, not getting anybody. Oh, there you go. Hi. Can you just identify yourself for the record?
Sure, it's Sean Marcus.
Okay. Are you here for the Planning Commission meeting?
Correct, yes, I am.
Okay. I'm going to put you on mute.
Okay,
Well, we're recording, Mr. Chairman, and your live stream. So if you want to go ahead or you want to wait for Joel, it's up to you.
What do we got? 7:31. We'll get rolling and hopefully.
Oh, here he
Joel-
comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes. And then up. There he is.
Joel, you're muted. I like you that way.
Well, you already got that one.
Okay, I think you're good to go. I'm just going to hit the share the screen so Jen can do that, and then I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sharon, and welcome everyone to the November 18th, 2020 meeting of the Danbury Planning Commission. We will open by taking the roll. Mr. Urice,
Here.
Ms. Hostetter,
Here.
Mr. Kiokio,
Here.
Mr. Sylvain,
Here.
Mr. Renz is absent, Mr. Haas is absent, and Chairman Finaldi is here, so we do not need to seat any alternates this evening. Commission members, you have received previously the minutes of the November 4th, 2020 meeting. Unless there's any corrections or discussion, I will entertain a motion to accept those minutes.
So moved. Helen.
Seconded by Perry.
Mr. Chairman,
Motion made and seconded to accept the minutes. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Joel.
I'll have to abstain.
Okay. Let the record show an abstention from Mr. Urice. And I will take a roll call vote for the acceptance of the minutes. Again, a yes is to accept them, a no is to not accept them. Mr. Urice previously was an abstention. Ms. Hofstetter,
Yes.
Mr. Kiokio,
Yes.
Mr. Sylvain,
Yes.
and Chairman Finaldi votes yes, the minutes are accepted. Commission members, our next meeting is scheduled for December 2nd, 2020. Jen, did you want to briefly touch on the issue of a second meeting in December?
Sure, Mr. Chairman. There's a good chance, and it's up to the commission if you want to have that. Right now, we don't have a second meeting scheduled for December because it was too close to Christmas. But given that, people aren't doing the Christmas parties and going away, we're hoping to schedule a second meeting in December. We've got several applications, including 2 upcoming December 2nd. And if we can do the second meeting, we'll try. Once we get closer to December 2nd, we'll know better. So I just want to kind of feel out the commission to see if you'd be open to having that second meeting.
This is
Yes.
Helen. I'm fine with it.
I'm okay with it.
Yep.
Okay.
Very okay. Yep.
That's
Okay.
unanimous, Jen. None of us are doing anything. What just Scrooges?
What a shock. All right. Once we get through the December 2nd meeting, I'll have a better idea if we'll need that December 16th meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep us posted.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, moving along, there is no new public hearings this evening. We have nothing under our continuation of public hearings agenda. And we have one item under old business for discussion and possible action. Item 1, West Myrie Holdings LLC. Application for special exception site plan approval for aircraft hangar, aircraft maintenance, flight instruction and storage in the IL-40 zone, 49 Myrie Brook Road, F19004, special exception 778. And hopefully everybody had an opportunity to review the draft resolution of approval that was previously submitted and is dated November 12th, 2020. Jennifer, did you want to discuss your resolution?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm sharing my screen. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay, so the commission members have the same resolution. I just find it's easier to look at the screen while I'm talking about it. So if you recall, the last meeting, you gave me guidance to draft a resolution of approval for 49 Myrie Brook. This allows for the construction of an approximately 28,000 square foot airport hangar at Westcon Aviation. They're doing some site work that includes the removal of one of the two buildings and then the construction of this larger 9-unit hangar. So through the resolution standard whereases, if you recall, a tiny portion in the corner of the properties in the floodplain, so that's mentioned in here. We had sign off from the FAA, if you recall. The airport administrator also testified. All of his concerns were resolved. As you get to the meat of the conditions, again, standard conditions, filing the grant, of course, number 6, the civil engineer has to respond to Kelly Green's comments dated November 4th. If you recall, Ben gave testimony that he had no problem making those changes. So we'll expect those revisions to come in hopefully within the next day or so. Kelly will take a look and then sign off on that. And once Kelly signs off on her outstanding comments, then I can draft the floodplain permit, which is condition number 7. So hopefully that will happen before the December 2nd meeting, and we can, I'll have that ready for that meeting, and we can act on that. Number 8, the work within the right-of-way. Again, this involved installation of 2 concrete aprons, replacement of some existing deteriorating curbing, replacement of a catch basin, removal of a deciduous tree that is located between the security fence and the guardrail. Standard language about the storm drainage, and that's about it. If anyone has any questions.
Questions for Jennifer?
I don't.
Nope.
Pretty straightforward stuff here.
Yep.
Okay. I guess your resolution was a good one, Jen. No questions or anything from the commission.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
Go ahead, Joel.
just so you're aware, and I wasn't the last meeting, but I did view everything necessary to vote on this particular item.
Great, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Anything else for Jennifer, commission members? Any other questions? And hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve if you're so inclined.
I'll make a motion to approve this application with the conditions specified in the staff recommendation.
I'll second Helen's motion.
A motion has been made and seconded for approval. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I will take a roll call vote. Again, a yes is to approve the resolution of approval with conditions. A no is to not approve the resolution of approval with conditions. Mr. Urice,
Yes.
Ms. Hostetter,
Yes.
Mr. Kyokyo,
Yes.
Mr. Sylvain,
Yes.
and Chairman Finaldi votes yes. The resolution of approval with conditions is approved. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome, Ben. Take care.
Have a nice
Thanks, Ben.
Thanksgiving if I don't talk to
You too.
anyone.
Yes.
You too.
Happy
Bye-bye.
Thanksgiving.
Okay, we'll move right to referrals. There are three. Again, all three referrals are covered. Staff report dated November 16th, 2020. Hopefully, everybody had a chance to review those. Item 1 is an 824 referral, November Council Agenda Item Number 3, request to purchase city-owned land at 25 Mountainville Avenue, J16032. Jen, are you going to take the referrals?
I am.
Go right ahead.
Okay. So the first one, acquisition of city-owned land, 19 Mountainville. I've brought up an aerial shot of this area. If just to kind of give you an idea of where this is. This is on the backside of Rogers Park, Mountainville. Can you see my mouse right here?
Yeah.
Here's Mountainville. The entrance to Rogers Park School is over here. I believe this is where the the older kids play and the Little League guys play over here. So in this particular case, and you can see these little X's right here, this is the fencing that separates between the fields and the properties on Mountainville. As I've discussed in my staff report, the petitioners, the property owners in 19 Mountainville, John and Eileen Mitchell, owned this property in the highlighted area. You can see this is their property line right here. The fence is right here. So this little like no man's land is technically city land, but they've been maintaining it for approximately 29 years, I believe, since they bought the house. I believe they thought that this was their property. So they've petitioned the city to purchase or to make some type of arrangement to allow them to take ownership of this property. You know, we, subject to obtaining input from, you know, we think input from the Director of Recreation and the Department of Public Works is certainly advantageous here, as well as an updated survey providing the meets and bounds, as well as input from Corporation Counsel. Staff sees no objection to allowing this exchange or transfer, selling. I don't know that that's been decided yet, but right now, you know, the department has no objection to this moving forward.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Helen.
So Jennifer, this is a very interesting photo. So I hadn't seen this. And it looks
Yep.
like the private owner, like up top of, I don't know what the direction is, but the 0.23 acres one, they're right up to the fence line. And then
Yep.
for some reason, we have the next three properties didn't quite get there originally, I guess, with original acreage or, you know, zoning out each plot. So my question is, first of all, did you get any preliminary input from any of these people, Department of Recreation, Department of Public Works, Corporate Counsel, or the city on this? Just
No, we have not.
Okay. And can I ask too, so you have all these fences up on the right here with the athletic fields, I get that, but what was there do you know if there's any plan for that whole big buffer between just in general, the lots? Just
This
curious
is-
how
Yeah, I mean, the way the fields are set up, this is generally, you know, this area through here. And I only know this because when my son used to play in the smaller field when he was in T-ball, Little League, whatever it's called. These are the fences that separate from where the parents generally sit. So like through here, this is the fencing that, you know, again, the parents would sit through here, this area. And over here, it's the same. You know, this is generally where you're the spectators are gonna sit, and it's the separation between the fields and the spectators.
All right, so you're saying that the spectators would be in that trenchy thing that's between the athletic
Yeah,
fields?
it's a pretty flat area through there.
All right, so it's being utilized by
Oh, yeah.
the city. Oh, okay.
And
that's
again,
good.
this yellow right here, that's the fence, again, that for the Rogers Park as a whole. And then you've got the smaller fences between the fields.
Okay.
So this fence right here that runs all the way down, and you can see this thinner line. I can see if I can highlight, like you can see here. This is their property right here, the adjacent property, 17. So again, they have the same situation here. This parcel, hold on here,
So-
same situation. They're just these slivers of land, and even to the north,
So it doesn't look
you've
like,
got the
I
same.
mean, they'd have to do a lot of work to be able to utilize those three little plots in there, you know.
The
extend
city or
fence,
the, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, the city or the property owners?
The city would have to actually make a lot of effort to get the fence moved back to the existing property lines for the people, the
Correct.
private residents. So I think, I guess the theory is then, you know, if you leave everything in place in terms of the city and their current use and everything, it makes sense that these three little slivers here are sort of no man's land, and yet they can be maintained by the private property owners because of the fence. They're the ones that have a better access to those plots. So, right? Is that the feeling then?
I believe so. Again, you know, this is, you know, it'll go to ad hoc, and you'll get input from the Director of Recreation, Department of Public Works. You know, they're going to be reviewing this as well, but generally that's the consensus. I mean, this is the property right here, highlighted again.
Okay, but we're expecting.
They
the upper-
have,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they have, you know, a garden in here that they've been, you
Yeah.
know, utilizing for quite some time.
All
But right
so
now,
who-
the petition, I'm sorry, the petition is only for, the
Yeah.
request is only for 19 Mountainville.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm thinking similarly, it might be, you know, maintained with these other two properties as well. I mean, I don't know, but it seems it would be easier for them to do it than the city. And maybe that hasn't been happening, that the city was taking care of those little plots, right? So I guess where I'm coming from is, it seemed to me, this is a lot of, we need a lot of input from a lot of departments, and we're still making a positive referral, but after seeing this, I now understand why it makes sense. And, you know, so in a way, I'm fine with it then, but this was a great help in terms of the pictorial here to understand.
Thank you, Helen. Yeah, is there any other questions for Jennifer on this one?
I,
I was, sorry.
if it would come in the guise of questions, others in comment and commentary, you want that at this point or some point later?
A comment on this referral?
Yeah.
We want it right now, because we're
All
gonna
right.
hopefully,
Comments coming. I seem to recall a number of years ago, and perhaps was when I was on the Common Council back that far, a similar situation existed over on the backside of the high school property. And people had put their fences beyond their property line. Someone petitioned to, oh, well, let me buy this because my fence is up there and I've been maintaining the property. Digging back in my old law background, and not as a lawyer, but it seemed that adverse occupation of public property does not constitute any basis for an adverse possession, as in personal property might occur. So I don't think you have any claim from that perspective, and that's perhaps why they want to buy it. But it sets a precedent if they sell that strip. You have a number of different properties I can see right here, and I don't know if we blow the map up, there may be more than the three that are encroaching on city property. And it's not technically school property. I don't think it's school property. It's
No, it's open space.
it's city park. Is it open space?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
it's Rogers Park.
That it's open space. Or is it open space or Rogers Park? Which is it?
It's public open space.
It's open space. Okay. Um,
But again, can I just clarify something, Mr. Chairman, for Joel?
ahead.
This is a city-owned fence. This is not a private fence. The city owns this fence.
right, it as a barrier,
Okay.
as a barrier. And
Yes.
a buffer beyond the fence, which this property owner has been utilizing as though it was theirs.
Correct.
And I think it could set a dangerous precedent. Oh gosh, go ahead and sell it to me. You've been using it. You can't really do anything with it anyway because it's beyond your fence line. I would put that argument in the category of poppycock. I'm more inclined if they had approached us and asked for a temporary easement terminating at any time the city wishes, I probably would be okay with that. But to sell that little piece, that just tells everyone, other property owner down the line, anything beyond the fence, yeah, we're going to have to sell to you if you want it because we allowed this one to buy. And I'm not comfortable with that. I would have to give this a negative from my perspective for that reason.
Jen, could you just blow it up and show us the next couple of lots to see how
Yep.
much farther that goes?
Well,
So
if I could just say something here. The scenario Joel described is legit. In other words, you can't build a fence on city property and then say, oh, well, look, I built it there and I've been maintaining it for years, so it's mine. But that's not the case here. The fence here is a city fence, and the is on the other side of it. So what they're looking to do is simply acquire a strip that gets them up to the fence that they've been maintaining for years anyway. But I understand, if I could just finish this point, I understand what Joel's saying. You can't build something on city property and then say, hey, presto, it's mine, or I have rights to it because I built something there. But then again, these folks did not build that fence. That's a city-owned fence. And I think that situations like this have to be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. And I wouldn't want this to establish any sort of precedent or general rule. I want to make sure we vote and consider it based on this specific piece of land and not, citywide. This is not a zone change. So, okay.
May I counterpoint? I wasn't making the argument that the adverse possession was something that they could do. I thought I said right up front, adverse possession cannot occur on public property. There's legal precedent for that. So they can't claim adverse possession of the property. They have to do something with the city if they want to use it to allow them to continue to use it now that it's been brought to, if you will, the light of day. And because the city fence doesn't go to the edge of the city property, I don't think there's any argument for the person, the applicant, to say, well, you're not going to use it anyway, let me buy it. That's not why that fence was. That fence was put there, in my estimation, as the end. There's still a buffer outside of the fence. It's not as though the city marked that up. This is all we're ever going to use. So I still don't want to set a precedent. Yeah, you can buy some land. It's an itsy bitsy piece. We're probably not going to use it, but we don't want to have other people come and say, oh, I want to buy that piece of land. I want to buy that piece of land because it's outside of a fence zone that the city may very well never need.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
I have a question about that piece of property that's directly up top of the one in question. There's in the back of the lot there seems to be a little rectangle where they have a fence and then there's a little tiny piece there. And then
Yep.
who owns that little, well, see, it looks like, so what
So-
happened with that? Did
That's
that
all
thing
one
again?
property.
That's all. So the yellow outline, and again, there's a margin of error with these maps. These are GIS maps. this generally follows the property line. This fence is their own, I believe, their own private fence, because this is Rogers Park fence right here. Do you see where I'm following with the little eye?
So can I ask you something? So did that get converted from city property to that owner? Because why would they have a little fence with a little whatever, that little, why would they have done that? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I mean,
It
again,
sounds- It
this
looks
is,
like at some point in the past, there might have been a transaction where it went from the city down to this. In other words, a precedent set. I'm just asking the question because of that fence is suspicious to me.
I mean, again, I think that's, certainly on their, it looks to be on their property. I mean, it could be a fence, that the kids are playing in or their dog is playing in. I'm not sure.
Could be a garden.
It could be a garden, absolutely. Again, it's certainly, when you look at 19 Mountainville to the south, you can clearly see this for whatever reason, this property goes back a little deeper than this property. I don't know why, but that is a private fence. It's not a city fence. This one right here.
Well, I know, but was it at one point, maybe, maybe, I'm just
I
asking,
don't-
if precedent was set in the past to do this very same thing that we're asking for here.
I'm not aware that happened. I can't say for certain, but
Okay.
it's,
All right.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, it goes back to my original point that we're gonna, if we approve this, it's gonna be based on input from all these different, so we don't really understand if all these other entities feel that this is worth going through, worth saving the property for the city or giving, letting it be sold. It's a lot of input that we don't have right now. So I don't know, but you're saying in your referral that it's based on all that input. So it's almost, there's so many departments here, I'm almost wondering if we should get more input from them first.
This is just a referral, folks. We're not making a decision. This goes to the city council. They're the ones that make the decision. This is just a referral. We're not having public hearings. We're not getting departmental reports. It's just a referral. Please.
No,
we-
I
Don't make it-
understand that. I understand it. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Bob.
I would be okay with this for a positive referral, and just, I think if the property next to it, towards the top there, whatever, that's north, I guess, maybe, if that weren't all the way to the fence, and then this one where they wanted to go to the fence and it kind of juts out with not on either side jutting out, then I would have an issue with that. But this is kind of just going to match the one next to it and just extend that. So I don't know that it's a big deal, and I would be okay with a positive
Well,
referral.
but Mr. Chairman, can I comment on that?
Go
The
ahead.
problem with that is you got 4 more below it that are not aligned with the one on top of it right now. So the big question is, do we want to give away, potentially set a precedent doing, but it is a referral, so you're right.
If any of the other people want to make a deal with the city, they could do it and they could request it and they'll be evaluated on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
We're not changing a zone. This is not changing a zone line here. It's important that everybody know that.
So we're changing a property line.
A property line, but not a zone line designation.
Well, no, I think Joel's other comment that it's open space, and we put that in our open space column, and we have, we're trying to keep open space, so there's that too.
I would also question, if you're talking about changing zones, if you sell the property, no doubt the park is zoned differently than the residents behind it. Is that a fair statement?
It's zoned, Mr. Chairman, it's
Go ahead.
zoned, the subject property is zoned RA8. The park, I believe, is RA20.
Okay, so you're allowing part of a single-family residence, or that it happens to be, I think, single-family residence, on property that would not otherwise allow it. because of the zoning.
Well, we're taking a tiny piece of land, 1,300 square feet, and going for, and extending RA8 1,300 feet. That's what we're doing. That's it. But again, we don't have the final say in this. The city
I'm
council.
going to make one last argument against this. We had a situation over by the other middle school where a private entity wanted to purchase city property in order to put in a parking lot. Not the same thing, but they wanted to, to purchase city property. We, as I recall, on that particular referral, said, that's school property. You don't know what we might want to use that for in the future, so we're not going to give you a positive referral on it. This isn't a school property, it's a park property, but the argument to me is no different.
Yeah, but it's a completely different set of circumstances. I mean, they wanted to build a parking lot on a big piece of land. This is a,
It didn't matter that it was a parking lot. He wanted to buy it. Whether he put the asphalt down or not was not a part of the referral. Whether or not we would sell the property to the applicant, that was the referral.
okay.
Yeah, but that was part of school property, and
Yeah,
this is open
and that's
space
the
that's a much
park
smaller piece
property.
that you really can't do much with anyways on this side. Whatever.
All right, look, anyone else have any comments or questions?
Can maybe I'm not good at math tonight. This is Helen. Can anybody tell me what the linear measurement is on the short end from the property ownership to the fence is?
It's approximately, hold on here. I did this measurement the other day. I don't quite remember. I believe this is 16. Hold on here, sorry.
20 feet probably, between
Yeah,
15
it's
and 20 feet.
16, so the distance from here to here is about 16 feet, and I think from here to here, obviously, is 60, because this is the property. 60 feet, so approximately 1,300 square feet.
So we're looking at moving a property line 16 feet.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I don't think that's very much, so just saying, to make all these changes, maybe open the fence up or whatever. I don't know.
All right, look, let's get this thing moving along here. Unless there's any other discussion, any other questions, I'd like to get a motion on the table. And again, you can vote any way you want. You can vote yes or no, but just to keep it moving, I'd like to get a motion on the table.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion for a positive referral.
Motion made for a positive. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made and seconded for a positive referral. So again, a yes is for a positive referral, a no is not for a positive referral. And I will take a roll call vote. Mr. Urice?
Mr.
No.
Chairman, can I butt in for 1 second? It's Sharon. I don't normally do this, but because I want to make sure that it's based on the conditions in the staff report,
Yes.
that you would be getting, subject to getting all those nods from everybody and all that, just so we know and we're clear. So
Yes.
Joanne can write it.
Okay.
Okay,
Friendly
sorry.
amendment then? So it's, if you're issuing a positive referral, it would be a positive referral contingent upon approval of all the departments?
Well, I think the way we, Jen's staff report, and she and I had talked about it, was subject to their concurrence that they didn't think that it was, and again, needed for recreation space, or Public Works didn't have some further idea, and we left enough on the other side of the fence to get to the back side of the fence and still be on city property. And there was no deed, anything in the restriction of the deed that would prohibit, the sale of property. So subject to all of those things.
That's why I asked for the friendly amendment to Bob's motion, subject to all of that happening.
Is that okay with you, Bob?
That is, yes, amend my, my motion for a positive referral, subject to obtaining all of the requirements mentioned in the staff report.
Okay, so, and Perry, you're okay with your second?
Yes.
Okay, so there is a motion made and seconded for a positive referral. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I will take a roll call vote. Mr. Urice,
No,
Ms. Hofstadter,
Yes.
Mr. Kiokio,
Yes,
Mr. Sylvain,
Yes.
and Chairman Finaldi votes yes. This particular matter gets a positive referral. Let's move right on to number 2, request for sewer extension renewal, 28 and 30 Tamarack Avenue. Jennifer,
Mr. Chairman. Hopefully this will be a little easier. So back in 2017, council approved a sewer main extension to serve 2 vacant parcels located at 28 and 30 Tamarack. These parcels are currently under construction right now. And they just need an extension of the renewal to get them to the point where they can construct the main and get it signed off on.
Motion for a positive referral.
do I hear a second?
second,
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll-
I have a question. I have it down here. I don't have it in front of me right now, but it's with conditions. Is that true?
Yeah, subject to compliance with standard Public Works Engineering Department requirements for public sewer main extensions. All final plans and documents should be approved as to form and content by the Office of Corporation Counsel prior to acceptance by the city and recording on the land records.
All right, so this
I'm
positive referral is with conditions.
I'm willing to add that as an amendment, as a positive referral, subject to meeting all the requirements in the staff report.
okay, that's,
I'm sorry, who had seconded it?
I did, Bob.
Thank you.
okay, motion made and seconded for a positive referral. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote. A yes is for a positive, a no is not for a positive. Mr. Urice,
Yes,
Ms. Hostetter,
Yes.
Mr. Kiokio,
Yep,
Mr. Sylvain,
Yes.
and Arnold Finaldi votes yes. This matter gets a positive referral. We'll drop down to our third and final referral of the evening, acquisition of land, 25 Myrybrook Road. Hang on. It's an 824 referral, November Council, Agenda Item 5, acquisition of land at 25 Myrybrook Road, F19001. Jennifer,
Mr. Chairman, City Council received a request from Les Pinter, Managing Attorney and Deputy Corporation Counsel, to consider the acquisition either by negotiation or eminent domain of a parcel located at 25 Myrybrook. The parcels become available as a result of federal bankruptcy in 2018. It's currently owned by the Sayers. Again, this borders the Danbury Airport. It's less than an acre in size, 0.86. It's within the airport protection zone, and it's subject to all the standard restrictions per Section 7B. Many of you will remember back in January of 2019, which I know seemed like forever ago, but January 2019, Council authorized a similar resolution. The current resolution supersedes the 2019 one with respect to the terms of intent and funding elements. In this case, it was detailed in greater detail the public good and the benefit to the airport, which include it's instrumental for ancillary uses that would benefit the airport, including construction of hangars, construction of maintenance, storage facilities for the maintenance of the operation of the airport, and any expansion of access to the public and private facilities that serve the airport. Funding is proposed from available FAA and open space funds. This was also approved as part of the CIP program. Staff has no objection, again, subject to approval by Corporation Counsel as to form and content for all final documents.
questions for Jennifer on this one, commission members?
Go ahead, Ellen.
I was just going to ask, you mentioned about January 2019, and I guess in this report, it says that this is not, it's not quite the same. There's different things going on. Is it pretty much in line with what happened January 2019, or are there notable exceptions that we should really note?
Not that I'm aware of. Again, it's the same parcel, it's the same meets and bounds. It's
No, I
just
think
that,
in terms of uses, maybe. It's kind of,
yeah, it's been expanded a little bit more, with respect to, the previous resolution. Only noted, I don't have it in front of me. Only noted, just a basic benefit to the airport. This resolution is much more specific in how it can benefit, the airport and the area adjacent to the airport.
okay, thank you. That's what I needed to know. Okay.
A couple of quick questions for staff. How is that property zoned?
IL 40.
IL 40?
Yep,
Okay.
I can
And-
bring it up on the map if you want.
No, that's,
Okay.
I just want to make sure it wasn't residential.
Oh,
Uh,
no, it's all IL 40 out there.
Okay. And
On that side, I'm sorry, I shouldn't, on that side of the airport, it's IL 40.
when the Sayre property went up on bankruptcy sale, it's been about 2 years ago now.
Yes,
there-
2018.
thereabout. I happened to have a conversation a day or two after that sale took place with a gentleman who bought a big chunk, including a big corner up there that was the landfill eyesore for so many, many years. And I just want to make sure that this property was not a part of that bankruptcy sale. Because if it was in bankruptcy, I'm not sure how Sayre kept it.
Which property are you talking about? Are you talking about the corner piece?
The one that we're dealing with right here. That was one of the Sayre properties when he went into bankruptcy. And there was a sale of a lot of property, and I thought it was one big package.
I can't speak to that. I don't know.
Jen, this is not the piece on the corner?
No,
No,
No.
no.
This is run by civil servant, Civil Air Patrol.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's all right. Okay, you're right. My
Hold
bad.
on, I can bring it up if you want.
Yeah,
Hold on.
again, I'm just going to interject for 1 second because I think it was at one point intertwined, Joel, but then I don't believe the Orfisi group ended up buying this piece.
Oh, okay, thank you, Sharon. I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure that's.
I just recall talking to the guy, and he was surprised nobody had bid on it by almost the end of the period there. And so he went and placed the minimum bid. And I thought that was part of the package.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I kind of remember that scenario that he didn't end up taking it.
As long as it belongs to Sayre, that's fine. I just want to make sure we're not giving a thumbs up on a piece of property that they're going to buy it from somebody that doesn't own it.
Any other questions for Jen? Any other questions for Jennifer? Questions, anyone? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Once again, I'll make a positive referral subject to all the conditions outlined in staff's report.
I'll second that.
Okay, a motion has been made and seconded for a positive referral, subject to the conditions that appear in the staff report. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, I will once again have a roll call vote. Again, a yes is for a positive referral, a no is not for a positive referral. Mr. Urice,
Yes.
Ms. Hostetter,
Yes.
Mr. Kiokio,
yes,
Mr. Sylvain,
Yes,
and Chairman Finaldi votes yes. This matter also will get a positive referral. Okay, there's some new business items you can take a look at on our agenda. They're coming up again in December. Any questions? Speak to Jennifer. Our schedule for 2021 was also included on the agenda. You can take a look at that. There's nothing under other matters and only one small item for reference only. Commission members, is there any other action to come before this committee? This
How about
commission?
a motion to adjourn?
Okay, motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second?
second,
All right.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. I guess I have to take a roll call, which is silly, but that's good. Got to obey the rules. A yes is to adjourn, a no is not to adjourn. Mr. Urice,
Yes.
Ms. Hostetter,
Yes.
Mr. Kiokio,
Yes.
Mr. Sylvain,
Yes.
and Chairman Finaldi votes yes. This meeting is adjourned. I don't have a gavel to hit, but I promise you.
Don't you miss that gavel.
I do.